Hello YouTube people, in today's video I'm gonna show you how this shiny watch from Milifortic looks like on these custom straps, and I will also show you how to use this inner bezel. This video is sponsored by Milifortic. Milifortic has sent me this watch for the video and I get to keep it. Thank you Milifortic. Technical specifications and measurements which I have done myself. The weight of this watch of the strap is 64 grams. Diameter of the case right there is 39.5 millimeters. Diameter of the bezel itself is 38 millimeters. Thickness without magnifying glass is 11.4 millimeters. Lug to lug distance is 46. Lug width is 20. This watch has sapphire crystal and this magnifying glass is also a piece of sapphire. This watch has 100 meters of water resistance rating together with a screw down crown and screw down case back, even though this secondary crown is not a screw down. And inside we have NH35A movement. The lume on this watch has actually surprised me because I didn't expect it to last till the morning, but it actually did, and I was able to tell the time in the morning on this watch. So the lume is not something exciting on this watch, but it gets the job done. Another thing on this watch that has surprised me is actually the strap, because visually it appears as if the strap is gonna be very uncomfortable, but surprisingly I can't really complain. I have worn this watch for several days already on this original strap and it's actually fine. It's not as comfortable as something as just a simple good leather strap like this one, but still, given the visuals, it wears a lot more comfortable than you would expect. So how are those, grooves? Are they annoying? No, actually I wear this watch like throughout the whole day and it doesn't get itchy, nothing. It's just they do leave a little bit of indentations on my wrist, but it's nothing terrible really. Edges are not sharpish or anything, and overall this strap is like a mixture in between rubber and silicone. It's very flexible, it's kind of soft, and it's not sticky, it's slippery. I don't know, it's probably some kind of FKM style strap or whatever, but it actually feels really good. It's like, you can actually squeeze this strap a little bit and it's like a little bit elastic. As you can see, it's nice. Actually the strap is actually nice. It would be a lot nicer without these things, but whatever, they are not that horrible as they look like they're gonna be, So that's how keepers look like on this strap. The buckle has this Milifortic engraving. Edges are very nicely finished, no sharpness whatsoever. So yeah, there is the strap. And another thing is that I wish those holes were a little bit closer together, because throughout the day sometimes I struggle to find the perfect fitment for myself. How to use this inner compass bezel according to ChatGPT. So there is a difference if you live in northern or southern hemisphere. So I live in northern, so it applies to Canada, UK, Japan, to the north countries. So here's what you have to do. You have to keep the watch flat and you point our hand into the direction of the sun. So in my position would be like this. I'm pointing our hand into the sun right now. So in my situation, south is actually in between 12 and our hand, because I live in northern hemisphere. So let's adjust the bezel like that. So some in between 12 and where your current location of an hour. So keep pointing our hand into the sun. And here's your compass. Right there is south, right there is north. Okay, so let's put it on the table like that. And I have a bunch of little compasses right there on the table, and they aren't gonna be super accurate right now because I'm indoors, so there is plenty of interference, but still, generally speaking, yeah, south is roughly on the right side. Right, it's actually accurate, it actually works. By the way, these little things are meant to be worn on a watch strap like that. Kind of cool idea for a tool watch, I must say. Now, what to do if you live in southern hemisphere, for example South Africa, Brazil or Australia, okay, you do the opposite. So first of all, let's reset the bezel, okay, and let's start again. So if you live in southern hemisphere, you have to point 12. You have to point 12 into the sun, okay, not a hour hand, but actually 12. And in between our hand and 12 is gonna be not the south, but north. This time it's gonna be north, according to ChatGPT. So if you live in the south, you point 12 into the sun, and the position in between our hand and 12 is actually north. So that's how you use it. How does the case look like looking from up close? Shiny. It looks very shiny. So the side of the case is mirror polished. It also has those chamfered edges on the, on the separation between the side and the top of the case. That looks nice. And the top of the case is vertically brushed, it seems. Lugs are facing down quite a bit, effectively making this watch to wear shorter than it actually is. The lug to lug distance is 46 millimeters, but it actually wears as if it was a little bit shorter because of that. Now let's take a look around the crowns. Crown has this Milifortic engraving. Beautiful, everything looks beautiful. Secondary crown does not have engraving. Sorry for the scratches. I don't know how I do that. I'm rather clumsy. If I wear a watch for several days, it gets scratches. That's just how it goes. So the case back on this watch looks like this. Sapphire crystal, automatic, water resistant, 100 meters, stainless steel, all that. Okay, it's not too bubbly, it's actually fine, it sits flat on my wrist. It's not a lightweight watch, it's 64 grams, is quite a bit, but it's actually well managed because it sits rather flat and lugs are facing down, so it's actually more comfortable than it looks like it's gonna be, this watch. Now the finishing, I can only complain about one thing, is that lug ends and bottom edges are, well, very well defined. Let's call them very well defined edges on the bottom of the case and lug ends. Other than that, I have no complaints. Let me give you a better look of the dial. So the dial itself has the sunburst effect, this kind of brushing that radiates away from the center, creating this sunburst effect. Interesting thing about this dial and hands is that hands and those indices are completely flat, which creates this very beautiful effect, how they reflect the light. They are very, very active, very shiny. They just light up in front of the light, like as you see. So that's kind of cool. That's kind of interesting, because those indices and hands are very flat. Usually I would complain that, oh, hands are very flat, I wish they were a little bit more three-dimensional, but in this situation it actually works because they work very cohesively together with those indices, creating this very shiny reflective effect. That looks rather good, I must say. I really like that the date window is black. Really fits nice, as good as it gets, really. And I like the magnification, this magnification glass, that it magnifies the date just perfectly. Not too much, not too little. I don't see the distortions. It's just fine. So some people don't like it. I don't mind it. I think it looks fine. It fits on this busy design, I would say. So inside, on the sides, you see this inner rotating bezel. You can take a little bit of a better look, and let me rotate it. The rotation is actually very, very smooth, but it's kind of loose, I must say. As you can see, I can turn it with basically zero effort. So problem with that is gonna be that basically every time you look at the watch, the bezel is gonna be in a different position. So you have to deal with that. That's how it rotates. And by the way, it's bidirectional as well. Like so. So anyway, let me just give you a little bit more of a look. It's a little bit difficult to show black dial watch on camera, so I'll try my best to play a little bit more around to give you a little bit of a better shot. How does it look like? Maybe I'm showing it a little bit too close to the camera. How about that? And let's move it a little bit less so you can get a little bit better view of a, you know, stationary shot. Well, speaking of stationary shots, you can always see my pictures really. And I like that on this magnification glass I see the reflection as blue, so it does have some blue anti-reflective coating. The anti-reflection on this sapphire crystal, well, don't forget I'm pointing the watch right now into very strong light. Generally speaking, especially considering that it is on top of a black dial, is actually not bad. Most importantly, when looking straight down on the watch, like right now, the clarity of the crystal is actually decent. So that's good. Let's do a little bit of a mandatory quality control. So this is a screw down crown. The threading and everything is fine, and the crown is not sharp, and it's kinda, you know, we would say slippery, but it's big enough that there is no problem with that. The crown feels actually very good. No complaints about that. One strange thing is that, you know, this watch has 100 meters of water resistance, screw down crown and all, but this crown is not a screw down crown. So why making this crown a screw down while this one is not? I don't know, it's a little bit confusing. I don't really understand how that works probably. So anyway, speaking about quality control, let's check the alignment of hands at first. Let's set on exactly 6, like so. Hands seem to be sitting straight and nice. Now how far from the midnight? It is going to flip the date. 11:30, 11:45. Now let's go slowly. Roughly 11-10 minutes away from the midnight. Not the perfect result, but it's not terrible, you know. And besides that, I don't see any dust particles on the dial, no imperfections, nothing. It's clean and nice. Let's check the accuracy. +2 seconds. Let's flip it over. +11 seconds, and now in the crown facing down position. +1 second. So as for NH35 movement, I would say that the results are fairly decent. The original strap on this watch is gonna be very polarizing. Some people gonna love it, some people gonna hate it, and I already saw your comments saying that this watch is gonna look a lot better on a leather strap. So I've chosen some straps that I believe gonna make this watch look very good, and all of these straps you can find on my website thomaswatchreviews.com. Because the lugs on this watch are facing down quite a bit, this watch sits rather nicely on a pass-through nylon straps. And I believe golden looks really good on a shiny blue. So that's how this combination is looking like. Not a bad combination. So shiny green color also works very well together with golden, in my opinion. Very nice combination. Really competes with the blue. I don't even know which one would I rather choose. I kind of think that the green one looks a little bit better than the blue did, but I'm not sure. This brown, however, I think looks great. It looks probably better than green or blue did. Something about the color, about this tone of this particular brown, it just looks good. It just looks good by itself and looks good on this watch. Yeah, so let's not rush. Let's take a little bit better look at the stationary view, you know. Yeah, it looks good. I think it looks good. I like it. I like it. Very nice color of this strap. Dark gray silicone strap, tropical style. It's nice. It's nice. I like gray straps in general, especially dark gray straps, and I think Yeah, it's pretty good combination. Not too exciting though, but I think it looks pretty good. This is moss green suede leather strap, and it has a little bit of a, you know, old money kind of luxurious vibe, and together with the golden ornaments on this watch, I think it looks great. It's a good combination. This mixture of stainless steel and gold, you know, two-tone thing on this strap, I think it looks good. I think it looks good, this combination. Yet another green strap. This one is very dark green color, thick leather strap with holes, which is actually very flexible. It does look rather good on this watch, I must say. It does look rather good. Also has those, you know, holes as the original strap, so not too far from the original look, I must say, except it doesn't have those grooves, you know, right there. looks actually pretty nice on this watch. This leather strap has a texture of a beef jerky, as you like saying, and has those fat stitches, but I think on this watch it looks great. It's very comfortable, very flexible strap, and I think combination on this watch looks great. It looks great. It matches this watch rather nicely, I must say. I like it. Oh yeah, I think those, I usually don't like those stitches, but in this case, on such a busy watch, I think it actually adds to the overall look. And this is my favorite combination. Fancy shiny watch on a shiny bracelet, chainmail kind of a bracelet, which is very difficult to adjust, but once you get it done, it looks amazing on so many different watches like this one. I mean, seriously, it looks cool. Right now it looks really cool. I like that. Very, very nice combination on this watch. It just works. It simply just works on this watch. What can I tell you for the ending of this video? Well, I'm honestly a little bit confused with this watch, because this watch has a very confusing personality, you know. It's a very interesting, strange package, which turns out to look rather good actually. But the thing about this watch is that, well, first of all, it's a golden, you know, dual tone, fancy looking watch, yet it has this compass and it is sitting on a diving style strap, right? Another confusing thing is that it has 100 meters of water resistance. It has a screw down crown, yet the secondary crown is not a screw down. So what's up with that? I don't know. And another thing is that, you know, it kinda looks like a military style watch, yet it has golden bits on it. It's like, so there are multiple things that are a little bit confusing on this watch. Well, quite a bit confusing, to be honest. And this inner rotating bezel, you know, with the compass, come on, let's be honest, it's just as gimmicky as it gets. If it had timing inner bezel, then that would be useful something. But this compass thing, I mean, how many of you gonna use this thing? Well, everyone, literally everyone who buys this watch gonna use this thing, but once. Only once, just to find out how it works, and that's it. And that's gonna be your last time you will ever use that, essentially. So I'm not sure about things like that, me personally. This leaves me confused, but you know, at the end of the day, this is a rather pretty looking thing, so I believe this watch is gonna sell in big quantities. You know, I already saw the sentiment on the internet towards this watch is super positive. And you know, it's confusing, it's busy, but as a whole package, this watch is definitely very interesting and eye-catchy. So that's what I can tell you for the ending. Anyway, thank you for watching. Have a beautiful day. Goodbye.